Big changes are coming to Barcelona this summer. With financial pressure mounting and Luis Diaz at the top of their wish list, the Catalan giants are preparing to offload up to 5 players, and shockingly, 2 captains could be on that list. But just as they ramp up their pursuit of Diaz, a major blow hits the club. The Colombian star may be staying put with a new 2-year extension on the table. What does this mean for Xavi's project and Barcelona's transfer plans? Let's break it all down, starting with who's out, who's staying, and what's next for Barca this summer. Let's get into it. Barcelona have officially kicked off a major squad overhaul ahead of the 2025-26 season. With the permanent transfer of Clement Lenglet to Atletico Madrid now complete, Fishages reports that the club is pushing to offload more players in an effort to reduce their wage bill and create space for new arrivals. This is a critical step for the Catalans, who continue to struggle with financial restrictions. The club knows that before they can register any big signings, they must streamline the squad, and that means letting go of players who no longer fit the project. 5 players expected to leave. One of the most high-profile names set to depart is Ansu Fati. After another injury-hit season, the forward has agreed to a move to Monaco. Only final details remain before the deal is made official. Ansu, once seen as the next big thing at Barca, is now seeking a fresh start away from the pressure of Camp Nou. Another name on the list is Pablo Torre. The midfielder does not feature in Flick's plans, and the club will look to either sell or loan him out. His technical ability is appreciated, but there's no place for him in a squad that is being reshaped. Inaki Peña, who failed to convince as a reliable backup goalkeeper, could also be on his way out. He is even open to terminating his contract if a suitable opportunity does not come his way. Furthermore, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is also under review. While the German keeper is not being actively pushed out, Barcelona will not rule out a late window sale if a strong offer comes in. His exit would create a huge space in the wage budget, though replacing him would be a challenge. Finally, either Ronald Araujo or Andreas Christensen could be sold. Araujo remains highly valued, but if a big money offer comes in, the club may listen. Christensen's position is also unclear, and his performance during pre-season could decide his fate. Barcelona's exit strategy is now in full swing, and with it, the club hopes to start fresh, rebuild wisely, and compete strongly under Flick. Barcelona continue to pursue Luis Diaz, despite several obstacles in the way of a potential move. The Blaugrana have made him their top priority for the summer transfer window, and feel that Liverpool will be open to a sale due to their own transfer activity. It was quite obviously leaked that Liverpool had rejected an approach from Barcelona for Diaz earlier this month, with the word from Merseyside that they are not interested in selling the Colombian winger. Barcelona took this as a negotiation tactic, and were encouraged by Diaz himself less than 24 hours later, with the star forward declaring publicly that he was in discussions with other clubs. Barcelona set €60 million limit for Diaz deal. Even so, Barcelona will have to find space in their salary limit to register Diaz. As per El Chiringuito, they have a positive feeling about a deal, following reports that Liverpool have now opened the door to negotiations. The Catalan giants feel they can get a deal done for around €60 million, and if they cannot, then they will turn attentions to Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. Barcelona are operating on the assumption that if Liverpool complete a deal for Florian Wirtz, and make a move for another forward, they have been linked to Alexander Isak and Bradley Barcola, then Diaz will become both surplus to requirements and a valuable way of raising funds. Barcelona may need major sale to register Diaz. Spoken about much less in Barcelona is their lack of salary limit space. The 28-year-old will no doubt arrive with a significant salary, and while any deal could be split across 5 years, they would likely require at least €20 million in their salary limit to register him, if they are in the so-called 1:1 rule. In order to be in that position, they may need to make a big sale themselves, with the likes of Fermin Lopez and Ronald Araujo linked to a move. Barcelona suffer setback as top transfer target leans towards signing a new 2-year deal with his current club. Barcelona's hopes of signing Ivan Perisic have hit a possible stumbling block, as a new report from Mundo Deportivo reveals that PSV Eindhoven have offered the Croatian winger a 2-season contract extension, and the player is seriously considering it. Perisic, who became a potential target for Barcelona in recent weeks, is seen as an experienced and cost-effective reinforcement as the Catalan club continue reshaping their squad for the 2025-26 season. The Blaugrana are prioritizing reinforcements in wide areas, with Luis Diaz being pursued for the left wing and Perisic eyed as a veteran option on the right, particularly when young sensation Lamine Yamal is unavailable. Stumbling block. However, while Barcelona have taken their time in weighing up a move, PSV have acted swiftly. The Dutch champions, for whom Perisic enjoyed a highly productive campaign last season, have put forward a 2-year renewal offer. According to reports, the Croatian international is leaning towards accepting the proposal, having enjoyed success with PSV both on and off the pitch. And there you have it. Barcelona's summer transfer window is already full of drama, surprises and tough decisions. Grimacing face offloading 5 players, including 2 captains, shows just how serious the club is about rebuilding. But with Luis Diaz possibly extending his stay at Liverpool, Barca may have to pivot fast if they want to stay competitive. What do you think? Should Barcelona go all in on Diaz or look for alternatives? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest football transfer news. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel, your home for all things football gossip, transfer drama, and La Liga twists. Today we're diving into the latest buzz around Barcelona's rising star Gerard Martin. After a rough week at the Camp Nou, reports are swirling that West Ham United could be plotting a surprise move. But how did Gerard react to this shock Premier League link? Stay tuned, we've got the full scoop, his reaction, and what this could mean for both clubs. The young left-back dislocated a bone in his hand as Spain kicked off their Under-21 European Championship campaign with a dramatic 3-2 win over Slovakia on Wednesday. Gerard Martin's tournament is over then before it ever really began. The La Liga champion heads back to Catalonia for immediate surgery. His hopes of joining Dani Olmo, Mikel Oyarzabal, Fabian Ruiz and Thiago Alcantara in a long list of Spanish stars with a U21 Euro winners medal on their CV going up in smoke as a result. A West Ham United fanbase already driven to insanity by a non-existent start to the summer window then, may quip with a wry smile that being linked with the London Stadium outfit is now only the second worst thing to happen to Gerard Martin this week. Barcelona left-back Gerard Martin reacts to West Ham United links. Spanish publication Sport claimed that Wolverhampton Wanderers and AFC Bournemouth have identified Gerard Martin as a potential replacement for the departed Ryan Ait-Nouri or Milos Kerkez. Ait-Nouri completed his switch to Manchester City a few days ago. Kerkez, meanwhile, is expected at Anfield after Liverpool seal a British record deal for Florian Wirtz. Sport add that Barcelona may be willing to consider offers in the region of £10 million. Barcelona and 3 more Club World Cup snubs who benefit from missing out. Would you rather have a shot at winning a fake trophy or a few more weeks of rest? FIFA aimed to create a tournament that could credibly claim to crown the best club team in the world. But their method for determining which teams actually make the Club World Cup was, well, flawed to say the least. The limit of 2 clubs per country and the emphasis on UEFA's ranking system has created a format in which reigning champions stay at home while the teams they beat in domestic competition are off to the States for the summer. Not that they necessarily mind, of course. In a day and age in which soccer's off-season keeps getting smaller and smaller, you could argue that every team would rather be resting up for a few weeks rather than crossing continents to compete for a trophy that still doesn't carry much of any prestige. In fact, which teams did and didn't qualify for the Club World Cup could have a ripple effect into next season. Here are 4 particularly egregious snubs who stand to be as fresh as possible when their domestic seasons kick off. 4. Napoli. Speaking of FIFA prioritizing international competition over domestic success, Napoli has won the Scudetto twice in the last 3 years, including this past season when the Azzurri edged Inter in a thrilling title race. And yet, it's Inter who will be participating in the Club World Cup as one of Italy's 2 representatives along with Juventus, rewarded for appearing in the Champions League final back in 2023. Phil Neville on MLS clubs' chances at Club World Cup. FIFA aimed to create a tournament that could credibly claim to crown the best club team in the world. But their method for determining which teams actually make the Club World Cup was, well, flawed to say the least. The limit of 2 clubs per country and the emphasis on UEFA's ranking system has created a format in which reigning champions stay at home while the teams they beat in domestic competition are off to the States for the summer. Not that they necessarily mind, of course. In a day and age in which soccer's off-season keeps getting smaller and smaller, you could argue that every team would rather be resting up for a few weeks rather than crossing continents to compete for a trophy that still doesn't carry much of any prestige. In fact, which teams did and didn't qualify for the Club World Cup could have a ripple effect into next season. Here are 4 particularly egregious snubs who stand to be as fresh as possible when their domestic seasons kick off. 3. Arsenal. Arsenal, along with another entry on this list, were left out by virtue of England simply having too many Premier League clubs who ranked highly, Chelsea 2021 and Manchester City 2023 have both earned major international trophies in recent years, and that made them very tough to beat for these purposes. The Gunners likely had high hopes after blasting Real Madrid to reach the Champions League semis, but their loss to PSG left them on the outside looking in. Mikel Arteta would likely just as well stay home, though, as he prepares to try and get his side back to the top of the Premier League mountain for the first time since the 2003-2004 Invincibles. 2. Barcelona La Liga? Check. Copa del Rey? Yep. Spanish Super Cup? You bet. Lamine Yamal and company won just about everything a team can win domestically this season. And yet they still found themselves on the outside looking in, left out in favor of rival Real Madrid, which automatically qualified thanks to its 2022 Champions League title, and Atletico, which had a stronger coefficient ranking thanks to UCL knockout appearances in 4 of the last 5 years. But Barcelona is likely just fine kicking its feet up and watching its primary domestic competition battle through weeks of international competition right on the heels of a grueling La Liga campaign. Not a single fan would trade any of the trophies Barca won this season for a Club World Cup, and avoiding the risk of injury alone is worth the snub. 1. Liverpool. Yes, really, the domestic champions of England, Italy and Spain will all find themselves at home rather than participating in the Club World Cup, which sure would seem to raise some questions about how exactly FIFA organized this thing. Much like Arsenal, the Reds were blocked by Chelsea and Man City's respective Champions League titles. Once Arne Slot's side fell in a shootout to PSG in the round of 16 this year, their Club World Cup fate was all but sealed. No matter. Liverpool already captured the trophy that really matters, securing the Premier League title in front of fans for the first time in 35 years. And because this is a club that knows all too well how a season can be derailed by injuries to key pieces, you can bet they're happy to keep Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and company on ice while Pep Guardiola's bunch goes through a grueling summer. So, there you have it, Gerard Martin isn't exactly jumping at the idea of joining West Ham, and who can blame him? Whether this rumor fizzles out or catches fire, we'll keep you updated on all the latest. What do you think? Should Gerard consider a Premier League switch or fight for his place at Barca? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a moment of the transfer drama. Catch you next time.